Hello, my name is Jose Fuentes. How are you? I'm a seer, I'm a psychic. I'm here today for Jose Fitson microblog. How are you? I'm going to talk about different things today, events that keep happening, things that one or the other way keep affecting our lifestyles, and the way we perceive things and we live things. I think that's gonna be a good session today in terms of like what I have to say, what I see happening, what events are coming, and will allow you to program yourselves for a better life itinerary with some of the things that I'm gonna tell you, and basically be prepared. Be prepared because that's what the word psychic is all about. When we're in possession of something like that, teaching is probably the number one objective. All things considered. So I want to start telling you basically that all the sports predictions are gonna be passed to my other channel, which is these shapes are in. I'm gonna leave the link for the YouTube link on the description, so you guys can sign up there. Everything that has to do with sports is gonna be basically given to the other channel. So I don't want to keep mixing. I think there's a lot of people that are worried right now in terms of like how they're gonna put food on the table, rather than who is winning who is the next winner of the Champions League and things like that. So we're just gonna leave that, for the other channel where I also do a lot of different things for my practice. I own a gym, I own a physical therapy clinic. So there's gonna be things that you guys can also see there as far as rehabilitation, physical activity, physical activity that can enhance your body, your mind, whatever. That's there. It's sports at the end of the day, so it's going to be a lot of different things there. I think that my background as a physical therapist will also allow me to predict when a player, when an athlete is being injured, how long it would take for him to go back on the field. So there's a lot of different things that we're going to talk about. Follow the link; it's going to be below. So let's start talking today. I want to talk about Giannis first, the guy from the Bucks. We all know that my first choice was the Bucks. I haven't watched baseball. I haven't immersed into basketball. I'm sorry, into the whole NBA clairvoyance for many many decades since Jordan played. This is the first time because a lot of people ask me, and I want to do it as far as giving predictions or finding out who is gonna be the top team for this season as far as winning the championship. The reason why I picked Bucks was for many reasons. I saw Giannis as an MVP. I saw Giannis as a tool for them to be guided, and I saw it to the championship. Sometimes, when it's a cluster environment where different things scatter, players and policies and politics. It's a little harder, and I also have to admit that 7 games is just a lot. It's just a lot. So I should probably waited, and see a little farther in, to develop better clarity, clairvoyance, however you want to call it, in terms of what was going to happen. There's a lot of games, there's a lot of teams, and I have a better situation. I situated better the whole ecosystem, and I could tell you now more confidently what's going to happen. I saw them. Giannis wasn't there. Giannis got hurt, came back on the last game, so obviously probably with a mild injury still, and it obviously was not the same. So with that being said, let's just start tracking. Okay, unequivocally who is gonna be basically the teams. Okay, or the team that. That's gonna probably take the championship. I'm gonna give you two teams for now until all this starts developing better. It's an undisputed, at least for me. Could be wrong. Could be wrong many times. But this is what I think. This is what I see. On the next chapter of this playoffs. I see Lakers very strong. I think Lakers and the Golden Warriors are gonna be the teams to beat. Eventually, I'm gonna give a an unequivocal prediction. Give me time, you know. Let's see what happens. Make sure that players don't get hurt. It's extremely hard. I was thinking about La Roma, the Rome, and the Italian league to win the Europa League. It's a crappy tournament with crappy teams, you know, like Sevilla and Leverkusen, and teams that are not like really the best. But now Dybala got hurt, you know. Giannis gets hurt. If Messi would have gotten hurt, obviously Argentina would have won the World Cup. So there's different things you have to understand. You have to give me time. You have to be conscientious of the whole situation when things like that happen. But I'm gonna say Lakers and Golden Warriors for now. I'm gonna do a final prediction in a few weeks. Give me time. Let me immerse. Let me visualize, and move to the other channel to hear exactly what I have to say in terms of that. So it's going to start with American politics and economic problems that we keep on having. We are the verge of collapsing here in the United States. The banks are still bad. Interest rates are high. People are basically losing trust in terms of like investing, in terms of like buying things. You know, we on a situation where things are starting getting worse and worse before they get better. So my advice to you is watch your money. Watch your money really. Pay attention to how you're spending your money. Pay attention to banks. Very important, because I see a few banks collapsing. We know that what happened few months ago with these banks plummeting, you know, in a way that nobody saw before from Silicon Valley. Now it's gonna start happening systematically. I think that the Treasury Department of the United States are covering a lot of things. Banks are in really in bad trouble. Don't buy right now if you don't have to, okay? Because things are gonna get pretty bad. If you're ready for a new lease, I will wait for now. If you're talking about cars, if you want to buy a house, I will wait for now. You know, interest rates are bad. Banks are gonna get crazy. It's gonna be a bad situation. I would just watch, and I would just wait and watch. That's my advice. I think things are gonna get worse. I believe that notwithstanding the fact that we're going through all this mess, Democrats are going to prevail on the election. It's going to be a very hard topic to be discussed, the economy. The thing they have in their favor is that a lot of people are working. You know, jobs is not the problem. The problem is inflation. The problem is the interest rates, you know. But as long as they have people working, I think that's a positive thing for them, you know, unfortunately. But a major problem that I see is that war that the Republicans have generated with transsexuals, with bisexuals, with the whole gay community, where it's a war. It's a war, and they're gonna pay for that dearly. They're gonna pay for that dearly, because it's not gonna just go away like that. You have to understand that a lot of kids are ready to vote. Okay, many plus the people that they already on that community are not gonna vote Republican, and they keep coming and coming and coming. There's a lot of kids I see on my visions that are emerging over 18 years old, that they have a sex confusion maybe, or they know what they want, however you want to call it. It's gonna kill Republicans for being stupid with that. Their focus should be the economy, not those things. They banning an abortion pill. It's a mess. It's a mess. They basically create enemies that they didn't have to. They didn't need to. Okay, and the Democrats are dancing on one leg. They know they have them. They know it's gonna be their time. They know they're gonna be there, as I predicted before. Probably didn't say in English, but I saw Democrats 8 years to 12 years. You know, that's already 4 years. So I see them 8 more years. You know, in power. It's gonna be hard for Republicans. They're stubborn. They don't want to get people that can bring unity. I see somebody there that can potentially help them a lot. They have to have like cluster time, and talk about it and propel the guy. It's Tim Scott, the black guy from I believe is the South. It's a senator. It's the only choice they have. I think that guy runs. They have a good shot. They have to stop having people like Trump, like DeSantis. That the only thing they just bring they just bring a show. They just bring a circus. Now this guy DeSantis has a lawsuit with Disney and is fighting transsexuals. A total catastrophe. So it's gonna take time for them to recover. I think it's gonna be a problem because I don't see that to be vanished, anytime soon. So we'll wait and we'll see what happens. But that's basically my prediction. Let's talk about now Mexico. A lot of people have a tendency, and I said before, to travel to Mexico for vacationing. I want to tell you that's going to be a war between the United States and Mexico, and not necessarily army with army. It's going to be basically the organized crime with the National Guard. If that's what they decide to send, of the FBI. I don't know what this country is going to send, but it's getting out of control. It's getting ridiculous. The amount of Americans that are getting killed there. They're going on vacations. The problem is that they don't declare them dead. They just disappear. And when they disappear, when an American citizen disappear, it's a big problem because it doesn't look good. Doesn't look any good on the country they're from, and it looks horrible on the country where they disappear. So I think that United States policies in terms of security, national security, is gonna probably be compelled to act, and start finding out what the hell is going on in Mexico. It's gonna create a big problem because this organized crime, I'm not gonna be happy with Obrador. I said Manuel Lopez Obrador is gonna be killed. He's gonna have an assassination attempt, and it's gonna be a big mess in Mexico when that happens. I see that it's still in process. Hopefully I'm wrong. Nobody wants that. But Mexico is going to be a mess in a few months. You're going to see that. You're going to basically realize that it's a risk, really going to Mexico right now. Stay away from it. Pay attention to what's going to happen. You guys are going to see that it's not going to be an easy way to really, really get rid of that mess. So expect a lot of turbulence. I think that's coming. So be careful going to Mexico. Pay attention to the news. I think that you guys are going to have more and more coming. Let's talk about cryptocurrency. A lot of people are in love with cryptocurrency, and most people that are in love of cryptocurrency, they haven't invested no one penny on it. But let's talk about it. For those who invested in crypto, I'm talking about the whole thing. I wanted to tell you that you could have a system where it keeps growing and growing, okay, and it keeps going up and up. I think yesterday crashed a little bit. I'm not gonna concentrate on the bad. I'm gonna concentrate on the good and try to reason with you why that investing on that is so dangerous and is so with all the respect, is so stupid. Okay, you guys are gonna find that very few companies are gonna be accepting that in the future. Banks are closing their doors to cryptocurrency. A lot of criminals are in jail now for being abusing practices. And the problem with cryptocurrency is that it's wonderful from a standpoint where you could sell it. If you buy a lot. You can make a lot of money if you buy a lot. Okay, it depends on which one you have. I don't know who has right now $50,000 or $100,000 to buy Bitcoin. I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody here that has that, but people make a big deal out of that. They have a lot of money invested, and I guarantee that people that complain about my predictions with cryptocurrency probably not even have $1,000. But anyway, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have restrictions. The banks are gonna be tighter on restrictions about cryptocurrency. They're gonna basically eliminate a lot of the trading. Cryptocurrency is a wonderful system from criminal to criminal, criminal organizations to criminal organizations. That's how they pay themselves. That's how they flow. They don't pay taxes. Nobody knows who they are. And the problem is that it's causing a lot of problems in our banking system. Banks are basically kicking them out. There's nothing wonderful about it. Is that going to be the end? No, it's not going to be the end. I think the government eventually they're going to develop a coin where they're going to make us register. They're going to make us use it. I don't know when. My prediction is that's going to happen, but that's not going to be cryptocurrency. It's going to be called different. It's not going to be Bitcoin. It's not going to be Ether. It's going to be called different. So the risk that I want you to know, that I want you to see is that by buying that, you're going to be restricting in less than, I don't see that to be more than a year, and I've been more than 2 years, just to be generous. So it's going to be narrowing the possibilities of trading, because banks are going to be kicking everybody out that has that. If I go to my bank right now and I want to talk about crypto, they're going to kick me out. There are a few banks. We know that a lot of banks in Singapore crash and close. Banks in Hong Kong crash and close, and a lot of banks in the United States, they don't even want to know. They're firms. They're basically hedge funds. They're forming. They're basically dealing with that right now. They still allow them to do it. But what's my prediction at the end of the day? That's going to disappear. There's going to be very few people that have that. Obviously, if you guys have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 and you want to invest on it, I wouldn't tell you don't do it, because I think that it's gonna take a little bit of time for them to start to still allow that wallets to keep flowing between criminal organizations to criminal organizations. So that's basically what we're seeing now. And obviously, if your friends have a wallet, you could play with it, you could deal with it. I see that to be not the case. Not a lot of people have it, and the ones that have it, I don't know how much. It's a dealing and wheeling between them. It's not a wheeling and dealing between me. If I want to sell $20,000 worth of excess equipment, I want cash, I want dollars. I don't need to have a wallet. I don't need to have Bitcoin. So you guys are going into a situation where it's just going to be harder and harder to trace who's doing what. And I predict, my prediction is that that's going to disappear. That's going to disappear, but it's going to be replaced, eventually by a cryptocurrency or crypto or metal coins, however you want to call it, by the bank. How they're gonna buy the governments? How they're gonna call it? I don't know. But that's gonna happen. I think that's just the beginning of a formation of something that's coming from the government. Whoever did that, we know that was this association from Japan. Give him that idea. It's gonna disappear. What we see now as a cryptocurrency is gonna emerge another type of crypto. That's what you want to call it. Another type of coin that we will be able to use. That's what I say. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if you ask me, can I buy $100,000 right now in crypto? I wouldn't do it for a minute. I wouldn't do it for a minute, because we don't know when it's gonna disappear. One day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna see that that's vanished, that's it, that there's no more. Banks don't want that, and the only possibility is you're gonna have to sell it. It's on the black market. You want that? Go ahead, do it. But that's what's gonna happen. If you're talking about $1,000, if you're talking about $2,000, if you're talking about money like that, that's just ridiculous. I mean, you could buy and see what happens, but you're not putting a lot of skin on the game, so therefore it's not really a problem. But this is going to disappear for all intents and purposes, and it's going to be harder and harder for people to deal with it. Banks are not going to want it. In the United States, I was reading there's only 15 stores that can take that. Obviously, Tesla is one, because the guy believes in that. It's a crazy guy that we're going to talk about next. But there's not a lot. So think about it. Use your common sense. See what happens. See all the people that are in jail because of that started, that created it. All these firms that keep catching firms that were doing all kinds of stuff, to lure people into buying it. Be careful. That's not the way to go. At the end of the day, is your decision. We're gonna close here today with Elon Musk. Elon Musk. I remember Elon Musk with his company that created when I was on my days of coding long time ago. I was coding websites for my businesses, and I remember that he did a company called Zip2. Zip2, I believe that's it. Zip2.com, I believe was the name of the company. So he started very young. He's a guy that, no doubt, it's a very, very smart guy, very eager, very has to have some kind of discipline to do what he's done. But the truth of the matter is that he haven't created anything. He haven't invented anything. He's been buying things from people that have a build things, and he pay him off, and he just did what he was supposed to on the things, on the rights, and then commercialize them. So that's all good. There's no problem with that. The thing is that he's getting into more and more trouble when it comes to his business ventures. It's a guy that I'm gonna talk to. I'm gonna talk to you about him in terms of what my psychic clearance is giving me. It's a guy that's a little crazy. It's a guy that's very egotistical. It's a guy that has a lot of problems. I was watching him on his interview on Joe Rogan not long ago, and he admitted that he needed, like, I don't know how many glasses of whiskey to go to sleep. It's a crazy guy. He's the verge of having a nervous breakdown. Twitter is going terrible. It's going off the drain. Tesla is off and on. He's still having problems with his cars. He just blew up $3 billion off a rocket. The problem is now that he doesn't have the money to afford those mistakes. The problem is that he's got a lot of pressure. And Elon Musk is not somebody that does very well with pressure, and that's something that you don't know. I do, because I can see him. I'm a psychic. I've been following this guy, and it's a crazy guy. It's a crazy guy that he's been breaking all boundaries, and now he wants to conquer Mars, and he's talking about stupid stuff that there's no way possible to do. He's torturing monkeys, trying to put chips in their heads. He wants to put chips in humans' heads. It's a total watch out, this guy. So my prediction to this guy is that one day he's gonna be hanged. He's gonna be dead. Either somebody's gonna kill him, because he is making a lot of investors very angry, very powerful people. I want to tell you that the Democrats gave him a lot of money, for his to play around to build that company Tesla when was a pandemic, and because the Democrats want everybody to drive electric cars, so give him a lot of money. The guy took that money, and give him a lot of grants, a lot of tax breaks, everything. They give him everything, and then the guy turned around and said, "No, I'm a Republican. I like Donald Trump. I hate Democrats. They're the worst." There, he's dealing and wheeling with a lot of very dangerous people. So I think this guy is gonna have a problem. I don't see this guy being alive before 2030. I think this guy is gonna commit suicide. And it's gonna be an event where everybody's gonna be talking about, kind of like what happened to Tesla, in different ways. A lot younger, and I know Tesla didn't kill himself. I hope not, but this guy is gonna die pretty soon. I think he doesn't commit suicide. He's gonna die somewhere. I don't know how, but this guy is gonna be dead. This guy is gonna be he's gonna disappear pretty soon. I don't see this guy being alive. Watch him, pay attention to him. See the things he says, see the things he claims, and you're gonna probably understand more and more what I'm talking about. I want to give you these predictions. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for being so kind in staying here with the two languages that I know it's confusing. I know I do more in Spanish than English, but don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. I'm getting better. I started with one video a month. Now we're doing almost one a week. So I think we're getting much better. So I want to tell you that all the sports predictions, tennis, UFC, basketball, baseball. Not much baseball, because I'm not too much into baseball, but we can talk about baseball once in a while. Football, soccer, everything is going to be in the other channel called Shapes Are In. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget, I love you. Don't forget, I'm very, very, very grateful that you're here. Jose Fuentes.